Relax.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Good and Terrible Show. This is Travis. Is with me always is Mickey.
Hey guys.
We're doing y'all a favor by cutting out the last 15 minutes of what we was talking about before we decided to hit record. But now that we're here, it is another episode of the Good and Terrible Show, and we got something good and something terrible for you. Today is a reaction video, and we're going to go over, I feel like a lot of the people who have seen it, but in case you living under a rock or in your mama's basement, then we have a recap where out in Oklahoma, the friendly state of Oklahoma, there was a basketball announcer for a high school women's basketball team who forgot that his microphone was on. I won't get too much into it. I'll go ahead and let you guys watch the video, but in short, the team decided to take a kneel in protest of the national anthem, and he forgot to mute his mic. And with that said, I'm gonna pass it over to my illustrious co-host here, and she's gonna let you watch and see for yourself in case you haven't seen this already.
Yep, so I'm gonna play it now.
The N-word. Let's go back to CBS News for the report, please.
It happened when the team from Norman High School knelt during the national anthem Thursday night. The announcer, Matt Rowan, later blamed his remarks on his diabetes and a blood sugar spike. The local school system has severed ties with him.
Huh? High blood sugar? Diabetes? Really? Your blood sugar levels are very low compared to your blood mayonnaise levels, okay? Type 1 diabetes, this is type 1 racism, okay? I didn't know racism was a side effect of diabetes. I don't know how because there's nothing sweet about racism. By the way, last time that I checked, black Americans had higher rates of diabetes than white Americans, so can we use diabetes as an excuse to be bigots? I mean, I had to Google the side effects of diabetes. I see foot ulcers, cardiovascular disease, vision impairment, gum disease, fatigue, strokes, nerve damage, but nothing about racism, nothing about bigotry. In Matt's statement, he said, I suffer from type 1 diabetes, and during the game, my sugar was spiking and I became disoriented, and I often say things that are not appropriate as well as hurtful when I'm in this state. I do not believe that I would have made such horrible statements absent my sugar spiking. Let's unpack this as my therapist.
So yeah,
It says, number one, Matt.
how can you, if you're saying, okay, I'm having the diabetic, what do they call it when your sugar's low? Like you just scream out stuff like, yeah, I'm gonna just say this, but I don't like that's Tourette, sir. That's a whole that's a whole different.
And like you were saying, I mean, black people in America have like the highest rated diabetes of any demographic, and I'm pretty sure most of us know at least one person who has diabetes, and not once have I ever heard people just randomly be blurting out racial slurs as a side of. Okay, so in case you guys missed it, so in Lake Norman High School, there's a basketball announcer who was officiating. I'm not officiating, was basically VJing, DJing, whatever you want to call it, a local girls basketball game. They decided to take a knee in protest of the national anthem. He forgot to mute his mic, and in the process called them, N-words. Basically called them a group of N-words while he forgot that his mic was on, and everybody heard it. It became national news about a week or two ago. And then he tried to blame it on his diabetes. He said it was a spike in his blood sugar. Now, I just had a piece of cheesecake last night. I went to the Cheesecake Factory, and I love cheesecake. Don't get me wrong; it's the New York in my family. But with that said, I don't have diabetes, thank God. But that was a spike in my blood sugar. You know how much sugar is in cheesecake? There's a lot of sugar in cheesecake.
Because I love cheesecake, and the clip where he actually said it. It didn't come through, so I went back on it so they can actually hear it live. So I'm about to play it now because I want to hear exactly. So people will say, "Oh, you guys are making it up." No, he really said this. All right.
Sports announcer using a racist slur during a high school basketball game in Oklahoma.
They're kneeling. I hope Norman gets their ass kicked.
It happened when the team from Norman High School knelt during the national anthem Thursday night. The local school system has severed ties with him.
And I couldn't.
So there it is. Like he really said that.
He said it.
And then to come back and say, "Oh, I say inappropriate things because I'm diabetic." I don't. I think
No.
you say that. I think you say niggas. I feel like niggas is in the back pocket, like
Yeah.
next to like his ID and his debit card. He's like, niggas slap that shit on the table like a spades game, like sir. And like what I saw was Oklahoma. I was like, oh, okay. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked.
Yeah, he said I hope Norman gets their butts kicked. Basically,
Right.
I'm paraphrasing. I'm not cussing. I'm
Right.
using what he said. But I mean, can we really say in 2021 that we're that surprised? He's in Oklahoma, okay? Not saying there's not good people in Oklahoma. I'm sure there's a lot of great people in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But
Good white people,
let's
as
be
I call
honest.
them.
You know?
Good white people, as I like to call them.
Yeah, let's be honest. You know, that's a big red state. That's a big NRA state. You know what I mean? Let's call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too shocked about this. Now, I am shocked that he tried to blame it on diabetes. Like that's the best you could have came up with.
Listen, he
You
had to
have
play
Google.
the card. He had to play the card he had. He was like, I gotta figure out something.
You have Google at your disposal, sir. You couldn't come up with some type of alibi better than diabetes? What in the what? How?
The best part, to me, the best part is the fact that the team that he that knelt is the one that actually won the game, which I was like, see, it's even better. So it's God going, see,
God don't like ugly.
Right. But like you said, it's 2021. I say 2020. 2020 is 2021. And I feel like racism is just as bad, if not almost worse, because we get situations like this where things are recorded, you know, where in the past we didn't. But I think that this type of behavior, like how they said the school severed ties with him, that should be the immediate response, not some BS. Oh, we got to investigate. You know, no. I heard it's recorded. I don't need to investigate anything. Fire him immediately. You're done, and he shouldn't be rehired, especially not working in a school with children. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I always wonder, like, people like this that try to make that excuse. If you're gonna be a bigot and be a racist, go ahead and do that. But just do that on your own time. Like, you know, don't bring that to a kid's basketball game. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody's asking you to do anything but be a decent person. So
right. Like I mean, I'm allergic to seafood, right? So I don't eat seafood. But it's not like I'm gonna go over to, you know, I don't know, Japan or China where they love sushi and just walk in a sushi restaurant and just bash sushi the whole time. I'm not gonna go in there for 3 hours talking about I hate sushi. You know what I'm talking about? Like, like you just come on now. There's certain things you don't do. There's certain things you don't do.
You just sticking your finger in people's dragon rolls. Give me this.
Right.
I'm upset about it.
Right. Talking about, oh, I hope your sushi roll had rats in it. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, come on, man. That's like, it's bad enough you a racist, but then to bring it to work and that's the scary part too, that there's so many people who are good at hiding it, who are racist in the privacy of their own home, and they're around work environments or school environments or you know, some type of public environments on a day-to-day basis, and you have no idea. You know, they hide, and that could have been the reason why you got passed up for you know, a promotion, or for why you failed a class in college or high school or something like that, because they had something out against you. You know what I'm saying? And
right, or lost the game. Like, or well, in this case, he's an announcer, but I mean, like, what if he was a ref? He's making BS calls. Right, you're
officiating, yeah.
But
if it's an official, if he's a rep or a referee or like an umpire in, like, you know, baseball's case or something like that, yeah, he might have it out for you, and all of a sudden, you know, you playing baseball, something you thought was a ball is now called a strike, and you know, now you strike out. Or, you know, if you're in basketball, all of a sudden, you know, he calls a foul that you didn't think was a foul. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you can't really talk back that much to the officials, or all of a sudden you get kicked out of the game. So absolutely, there's all type of social situations. You know what I mean? Where, yeah, like you said, if this guy was an announcer, but if he was an official, now we have a bigger problem. You know what I mean? And who's to say that there aren't any officials in that school that are doing that too? You know what I mean? So
probably are. Like how, and that's the other thing too. To wrap that, to take it, to make it to go all the way around the circle is there's racist, ignorant people in every field. Police officers, I would start there, like the most deadly to something like this where it's a basketball game. But that racial bias and that ignorance that people like him have is affecting Black people and other people of color across the board. And it's like, I don't see how when people like his defense is, oh, it was my diabetes. No, sir, you know, like don't try to. I'd rather you not sugarcoat it and just say, I'm racist. I don't like this person. And then deal with the consequences of getting fired. Because now you're on the unemployment line and, you know, it's like, hopefully you don't get rehired to work with anybody, especially not children. Because, yeah.
At least not in a type of, you know, entertainment type of role. I know it's not really entertainment. He's an announcer, but you know what I mean. I don't want him to have any type of role where his voice is heard by the masses. You know what I mean? No. And you know, at this point, you know, the other issue is that, you know, it's hilarious that there's still people that are pissed off over these national anthem protests. We now in what, year 5, 6 or something like that into these protests, and no matter how many times people explain that it's not about, you know, the flag itself, it's not about the anthem itself, you know what I'm saying? It's not about the military. People still choose to view it, you know, as such. And at this point, it's blatant. At this point, it's blatant. Like, if you don't believe it, it's because you don't want to believe it. You don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to accept the truth. You've made up your mind about your own fallacies that you're passing off as truth, and this is the result you get.
Yeah. And there's too many outlets. There's Google, there's YouTube. Like you said, at this point, you're either refusing to recognize it or you're just turning a blind eye to it. And I think the reason why a lot of people are denying that racism still exists, and it still exists to this extent, is because it does not affect them in their house. Their children are not affected. Their kids aren't being profiled. They don't have to have the conversation with their, you know, young Black boys and Black girls that, hey, if you get stopped by the police, you know, or anything, in any situation, you can go to the store and get followed. It's a lot of little things that happen to us all the time that we have to prepare our children for. But if you're white or any other race and you don't understand that, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't register, because it's not my child, it's not my, you know, it's not my mom, it's not my dad. They don't care. I think the part of it that hurts is like, it's one thing to not know, but it's one thing to know and say, it doesn't, I don't care. So, yeah.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Yeah, and you know, the first step to the first step to fixing a problem is admitting that there is a problem, right? But like I said, if somebody isn't experiencing this problem, if they don't see the problem firsthand, then they don't even recognize that there is but the point is, like, if people who are being affected, you know, the offended party is telling you that there's a problem, you don't really get to decide that, oh, there's no problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you might not see it firsthand, but if people are coming up to you and telling you that there's a problem in your face, whether it's a third-party media source or maybe somebody like a neighbor or a friend or somebody in that school directly telling you that this is a problem, then you're still turning a blind eye to it. It's because you chose to make that decision. So until you come to terms with the fact that there is a problem, stop denying that there is a problem, you can't admit that there is a problem. But once you're able to actually face that and have that discussion, then you see there is in fact a problem, and you can admit that there's a problem, and then begin to actually fix the problem. So
yeah. And with that being said too, I know you probably heard about it, but the terrorists, the white terrorists that killed, was it 8 or 9 people?
I think it was 8 total people, and like 6 of them were Asian.
Okay, I didn't know if they were all. I thought the article, I thought they were all, but that is just like heartbreaking, and that goes back to the fact that it's just like things are not as peachy keen as I think white America makes it seem, and it's hurtful. And I just, you know, my heart goes out to those families that lost people, and it's senseless, and it's like I don't understand how you can hate somebody that much to the point where you want to, you know, do them harm and take their life. So it's very sad.
It is, and definitely thoughts and prayers go out to all the families and friends affected down there in Atlanta. You know what, I didn't read too much into the case just because looking at too many of those news stories gets a little depressing. But
Yeah.
I'm still not exactly sure what the main reason is for all this Asian hate, right? Because I mean, it's actually been going on for like a few months now. I'm thinking people are still trying to blame it because of COVID.
Had to do with COVID. Well,
Yeah, like
this guy said he was going specifically to kill Asian people, is what he said. That was his target.
like
But
what is his beef? Like that's what I didn't look too much into. But
yeah,
because I mean, I don't like what's done is done. I can't change what he did, but
right.
you know, it's good to know why he did what he did. Like, what place was he coming from? Obviously,
He's
a place
crazy.
of hate, but you
Right.
know what I mean. It's just another racist. But
Yeah.
this country's full of them.
Yep. And we're exposing them every day. So Oklahoma, today's your day.
And Georgia, Oklahoma, and Georgia.
Yeah. All
Double
over the
whammy.
country. We're
Two
coming
big
for
price of
you.
one. It's like a sale at Walmart.
Yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching. Like, this is a quick reaction episode. You can let us know below in the comments what you think. If you feel that what he said was, of course, we heard the recording, but you know, tell us how you feel about what he said. And don't forget to comment that and then subscribe and like the video. We're almost at 100 subscribers. We're at 99. My birthday is March 21st, is for us to hit our first 100. So if y'all love me, like I love y'all, let me get that 100, okay?
Like I love y'all.
Y'all, yeah.
Like Jackie Chan and Rush Hour.
You gotta pull it, y'all.
Anyways, though, but this, like we said, we exposing these people every day, and we're gonna keep doing it until the problem is solved. So we're probably gonna be doing it for the rest of our lives. But thank you again for watching the Good and Terrible Show. We hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Don't do nothing we wouldn't do.
Bye-bye.